Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Arpanamastu. Today, I read a story, a very interesting one, with a teaching lesson. Probably this is going viral already. It's about a monk from a monastery who wanted to do some meditation in solitude. He did not want to be disturbed by anybody. There was a river by the side of his monastery. He took a boat, went to the middle of the river, stopped there, went into meditation. He was absorbed in that for quite some time. And suddenly, there was a hit. He was still sitting in the boat and meditating. See, suddenly he found his boat shaking violently. Another boat had come there and hit this boat. Naturally, he was quite shaken. And there was a sudden rise of anger, a very sharp, fiery one. The immediate thought, how dare this boatman come here and hit me? How dare he? The thought and the immediate rise of anger, sharp and fiery, he opened his eyes. One look at the boatman, the other boatman, he would have been burnt. But luckily, he found that it was an empty boat. There was nobody there. And by the wind, it had very naturally found its way to come and hit him. What could this be except the will of God? By the will of God, there was a strong wind, and some stray boat had floated on its own, come straight to this boat and gave a hit. Now, who could be blamed? The minute he realized that it happened very naturally, of its own accord, and by the will of God, he understood two things. It just happened. Number one was, this simply happened. Number two, the anger was already in him. It needed an external agency to provoke, to come to the fore. So no matter how much meditation we do, we still harbor fear, anger, jealousy, grief, and probably lurking desires as well. On the surface, as long as everything goes well, these feelings don't surface. But the minute there is a provocation from outside, they rise to the fore, and we immediately recognize it as our own weakness. The monk learnt his lesson, and then he goes on to say, at the end of the story, a very beautiful lesson for every one of us. Afterwards, whenever in his life he comes across a situation, either people or situation should provoke him into any of these negative feelings, he would immediately remember that empty board. And the minute he compared it with that empty board, he would realize no one is responsible for any happening, even the provocation. No one is to be blamed except the will of God. And then his anger would subside. And that way he learned slowly to give up anger altogether. The anger would grow as long as one thinks that the cause for it is outside. But the minute you realize it is your own weakness that is rising, you at least know you are still harboring it. There is still anger inside you. There is still grief inside you. There is still jealousy lurking. All those negativities are inside. The slightest provocation from outside, through people or situations, by the will of God, is a way to let you know where you stand in your spiritual progress. What a beautiful lesson. It reminds me of one incident, an anecdote from Sri Raman Maharishi. Raman Maharishi said, when somebody came and asked him about anger, he said, it's good that you get angry at times. It's good that you get fear at times, because that is when you know that the mind is very much there. Otherwise, by your sadhana, you are likely to assume that you have no mind at all, that your mind has been destroyed, manonash has happened. But these are the occasions that let you know where you stand in your spiritual progress. Now we shall submit our today's prayer at the feet of Bhagwan.